Good late evening, YouTube. So, we have in our midst new project. Okay, so what am I doing? Well, I will show you what I'm doing. What am I doing? Well, right now I am working on a spicy burger recipe here. Let's see. I call it a crazy spicy burger. Crazy spicy burger. And let's see. I gotta pee really badly. Hold on a second. Create video. Edit. Private. It's on private. Okay. Okay. Now the video would have been in one take, but hold on a second, YouTube. Anyways, in the cooking video that I'm uploading, I talk briefly about, just very briefly in the cooking video, I discuss the, the sex doll I would pick out if I was in the market for one. Now, funny thing about this is that, one, even though I want to pay Vapor back, he's saying I don't have to. So, I guess for the time being, but whether he wants me to or not, like, it's gonna happen eventually. Maybe not right away in the near future, but yeah, you know. Anyway, long story short, when I had gotten that sex doll sent to me in the mail, I don't know, YouTube, I had lost interest in the idea, you know? Because I figured to myself, hey, I'm, you know, moderately attractive enough. And because the video itself is like 40 plus minutes long, it's gonna take a while for me to put the two videos together. And normally when someone calls me on the phone, I can just hit hang up and continue recording the video. But for some odd reason that didn't happen this time around. But when the video had stopped, it was practically towards the end of it anyway. So, yeah. The first half of the video didn't quite capture me sticking the toothpicks into the sandwich that I made. But then the second half shows toothpicks in the sandwiches plus me eating it. So, yeah. First half of the video pretty much talks about a little bit of the sex doll bullshit that I'm going through right now. Second half of the video included, and then after all that, the first half of the video pretty much shows me making the burger, and yeah. I don't know, YouTube, earlier these last couple of days I've been kind of depressed because of what I did, you know, and several people have told me, hey look, none of your fans that were involved with that whole fiasco hate you for it, you know. In fact, my homeboy Scotty told me that, you know, the majority of those people have been following me for years, and this one little incident's not going to be enough to deter them from not following me. So, yeah. And maybe I should have mentioned something like several weeks before the doll got sent to me, but I had no idea. Okay. And, you know, if I was in the market for one, I had one specifically picked out, but I wasn't because I didn't have the money, and well, other factors played into it too. It wasn't just a money issue. It was also, you know, an issue of, well, I'm young enough now that, you know, I probably could get a girlfriend if I played my cards right. You know what I'm saying? Kind of thing. Yeah. A lot of people, whenever I talk shit about myself not getting a girlfriend, like, oh, haha, you know, kind of thing, a lot of people are quick to point out, well, you say you can't get a girlfriend to save your life, but what about Stephanie? Honestly, I don't know how the fuck that happened. You know, I was at Job Corps, and one of my other autistic friends, Emma, she was talking to me, and she goes, well, my friend Stephanie really likes you. Would you like to meet her? And at the time, in the back of my head, I'm like, okay, how many girls just openly admit they like me like that? And in the back of my head, I'm thinking, you know, what if she's kind of cute? Give it a chance. You never know what's going to happen. And right after I met her, 2 years later, you know, which, all things considered, most people, like 98% of people, do not stay together with their first anyways. That's just, there is a 2% percentage, there's a 2% of people who usually do stay with their first girlfriend or boyfriend, but it hardly ever happens. Most people don't last that long with their first girlfriend or boyfriend anyway. And, you know, being straight and moderately attractive and having no confidence in myself, it's kind of a bitch, you know? And I was actually quite surprised that based off of statistics, I was able to make the relationship I had with Stephanie last as long as it did. You know. Add that to the list of regrets. YouTube. Freaking add that to the list of regrets. Add that to the list of things I can't change. Add that to the list of learn from your mistakes kind of thing. You know. Shit, if I had a girlfriend right now, or managed to get one in the near future, if I managed to get a girlfriend in the near future that had even 1/4 of the chemistry me and Stephanie had before that whole fiasco ended, you know, I've learned enough now from my mistakes that, you know, that cheating doesn't work, YouTube. If you're not gonna be happy with the person you're with, and if you're going to cheat on them, it'd be much better for that person if you just broke up with them, honestly. I know it may hurt you or that person, but what's gonna hurt them more is if they catch you cheating on them, you know? And that's the thing of it, YouTube, is Stephanie never would have caught me. Never. You know, I could have gotten away with that shit slickety quick, and Stephanie would have been none the wiser. But that little voice in the back of my head, that's like, you're a scumbag piece of shit. Who the fuck are you to lie to Stephanie like that? That's your first girlfriend, your first fuck and everything, and you're gonna fucking treat her like this. That little voice in the back of my head that said, maybe you should tell her and, you know, work through things. That was a horrible idea. Holy fucking shit, YouTube. If I could go back in time, I never would have cheated on Stephanie, and if I couldn't go back that far, I'd go back far enough to tell myself, hey, don't tell her anything. Just keep your mouth shut. Yeah. But that's all in the past, you know. It is what it is. But more so, I've been kind of depressed because I feel bad about destroying the sex doll that was sent to me, you know. The circumstances in which that shit happened, you know, I kind of wish that I hadn't listened to the trolls in the first place. And that when it did break on me, like the first time before I completely destroyed it, that I would have handled it much better. But then again, you know, Vapor says I don't have to pay him back, and a lot of my fans will forgive me in time for this. They realize that, you know, hey. And the second thing I've learned is that don't destroy things, you know. Losing your temper and destroying things does nothing for me in the long run. Maybe in the short term you're getting rid of some quickly acquired built up anger, but in the long fucking run it's not doing me any good. Or like this morning when I woke up to turn off my alarm on my phone, and as I'm sitting there trying to turn off the alarm on my phone, I somehow managed to turn on my iTunes, one of my iTunes songs that I have in my collection, and I didn't mean to turn on my iTunes, and I got pissed. I'm trying to turn off my alarm on my phone and also my iTunes at the same time, and if I would just calmly taken my mouse, walked over to the iTunes app, clicked on it, and hit the stop button instead of freaking out and tapping my computer screen like, stop, you know. The crack in my main screen was already pretty bad, and me tapping on it this morning Oh, god damn it. Me tapping on my screen this morning only made it worse. And then, of course, me demonstrating... Are you fucking kidding me? I did not mean to do that. Oh, my God. I ever so slightly bring my hand up. Just a gesture of communication, really. And I somehow managed to knock my fucking phone off the charger. Oh my god. Okay, here's the thing, Slick. What happened here was... I could have just said what I did. I didn't have to demonstrate on my computer screen. Because as soon as I fucking did that... As soon as I fucking did that shit... As soon as I did this shit... Guess what happened, YouTube? That section of screen that broke... That section of screen that cracked on me pretty badly this morning. Well, that little section came free, and now it's stuck in my between the computer screen and the main screen. Oh, god damn it. I can't get... There we go. Slowly but surely. Alright. Well, unfortunately, I can't quite... Hold on a second. I can't... Fuck. I can't get that piece out. So I think I'm just better off waiting until I can get the main screen replaced. I'm better off doing that than trying to dig this chunk out of the screen. If I look at this odd-shaped crack in my screen right now, and... Well, the only thing that's affected is the main screen. Like, the screen behind the screen, okay, the screen behind the screen is just fine. So if I leave it alone, I don't lose my temper on my computer anymore, we should be golden here. Granted, that looks a little funky having it like that, but... Again, I don't have the money to just openly replace the main screen of my computer, so... Fucking deal with it until I do, I guess. I don't know how I did it. I really don't. I'm sitting there, and then that was just... You saw what happened, right? Like, I could have just said I tapped on the screen with my finger. I didn't actually have to fucking do it and make it worse. Now I got this big old chunk broken off completely from my screen, like the main screen itself, and yeah, it looks like shit. So I don't know, YouTube, like, if I can even get this chunk out. And the answer is probably not, so I'm not going to fuck with it. I'm just going to leave it alone. Because if I try to fix it... Now, what have I learned in the past, YouTube? What have I learned in the past? If I personally do not know how to fix it, then don't fuck with it, because chances are I'll make it worse. And I can already see it happening, too. Me trying to fix my computer screen and get this little itty-bitty chunk of main screen pulled out. And then the fucker just breaks on me even more. So, I'm just don't fuck with it until professional can look at it and what have you. But anyway, the opening of my burger video basically consists of, if I hadn't given up on the sex doll idea, and if I had the money, and if I was basically in the market for one, that's the one I would pick out. Also in the video, I talked about paying back that $1,000, and Vapor says I don't have to do it. Well, for the time being, that's fine, I guess, because I can't do it anyway. But if I get an opportunity to pay Vapor back, I will, you know, I don't care if he says not to or not, like, you know what I'm saying? And the whole point of this is I feel bad for what I did, that I've genuinely learned from my mistakes for a change. I mean, there's several things in life, YouTube. There's several things in life that I regret doing that I can't take back. There's some things in high school that I wish I'd never done, you know? Like, if I had a fucking time machine, I would go back in time, and I'd be like, to my past self, and I would be like, listen here, dude, okay, don't stalk or overly check out any of these girls in high school. And my past self would look at me like, I'd be like, I know, bro, I know right now you're going to high school with a lot of attractive women. I know this, okay? This is something you'll never forget when you're older, okay? But you'll have your first girlfriend when you're in your 20s. So just, I don't know, focus more on your studies and even more on your guitar playing. And these women aren't even interested in you right now. Just focus on something else, please. You'll save yourself so many years of, excuse me, you'll save yourself so many years of heartache and frustration. Just, bro, like, these girls are out of your league right now, bro. Come on. No, it's one thing if you occasionally check somebody out, like, oh yeah, you know, especially if that person is attractive, okay? If that particular woman in question is attractive and she knows she's attractive, and the worst somebody does is occasionally check them out every so often, okay, fine, whatever. That's one thing. But if you got someone who's constantly staring at you because they find you super attractive and they don't know how to like, I don't know, put the words together without sounding completely obsessive, you know what I'm saying, kind of thing. Which, when you have Asperger's and you like something, it's rather complicated. Freaking, yeah. Having Asperger's and having a crush on a girl really sucks, because the combination is quite unhealthy. I mean, there's nothing unhealthy about my sexual attraction to women, but the unhealthy part of it is that if I happen to have a crush on a girl and I let it get the better of me, I can become obsessed real quickly, which doesn't do me any good, especially if the girl doesn't like me back. And 9 times out of 10, that's usually the case, YouTube, is I'll develop a crush on a girl that doesn't even like me. And, you know, freaking 85 to 90% of the women I come into contact with are a little bit creeped out by me, or they don't understand me, so they're like, okay, who the fuck is this guy, you know? And the 10% that do not find me creepy, they actually know me and get along with me and shit. Well, the 5% out of that 10% that are attractive don't see me as that kind of person. I'm usually either friend zoned or they're just not interested in me, you know. And the other 5% I'm not even attracted to, like physically. So it kind of sucks, you know. Like, I've had a couple, okay, I'm not gonna lie, YouTube, I've had a couple of moderately attractive women find me attractive these last couple of months, but that's not a whole lot I can do if they're on Facebook and they're halfway across the goddamn country. You know, like that's real fucking convenient for me, isn't it? And if women want to call me shallow because I have standards, oh, the hypocrisy is so thick you can cut it with a knife. And the reason why I say that is because any woman who calls a man a pig for having standards, they need to take a serious look in the mirror and ask themselves what kind of guy they're attracted to. And the very fucking second they answer that question, the very fucking second they answer that question, they need to realize, oh wait, I was just giving that guy shit for having standards, and here I am, and I have standards. Oh my god! And it's so frustrating. About as frustrating as when you look at a girl and she's creeped out by you because, quote unquote, you're the wrong guy. You know, you're not popular enough for her, you know. Like, how dare you check her out? How dare you acknowledge the fact that she's attractive? Oh, you monster. Huh. Women like that are so fucking stuck up and vain, they piss me off, YouTube. Like, okay, I get it. Okay, excessive staring is creepy. But if a guy checks you out, you have to take that as a compliment. Even if you don't find that person attractive. That's something I've had to learn, YouTube. Okay? Is even if the woman in question checking me out is not that attractive to me, at least I have a woman checking me out. You know what I'm saying? And even if I'm grossed out by the fact that I have an unattractive woman checking me out, at least I can say, hey, you know, I'll take it as a compliment to an extent, because fuck, at least I can say that women don't check me out, because I cannot say that, because that would be a bullshit lie. There are some women that I catch checking me out. It seldom happens, and when it does, some of them are attractive, yeah, and some of them not so attractive, you know. The kind where you might have to have alcohol involved to even want to consider fucking them, because that's how nasty they look. And it's like, bro, come on. I'm at least a 4 at the minimum here. I mean, maybe I'm being too generous on myself here. But if we're talking about attractiveness, at the bare minimum, I'm at least a 4. Okay? I mean, I have some qualities that I redeem myself for. You know what I'm saying? My large muscles, my ability to sing, play guitar. That's 3 things. That trouser snake between my legs, that's 4. Really, those are the only 4 qualities I can see in myself. And maybe someone who likes me and stuff as a friend, you know what I'm saying, they're gonna see more qualities than that. But if I have to push myself to find redeeming qualities in myself, those are the only 4 I can. Okay, wait, and I'm a good cook. Okay, that's 5. Big muscles, awesome ability to play guitar, awesome ability to sing, a big penis, and the ability to cook. Really, those are the only 5 things you really need to attract a woman from the start. But to keep her, you gotta have other things too, like a job and, you know, shit like that. Which, we'll see, I guess. We'll see what happens once I get a job. I mean, chances are, if I don't get a girlfriend when I do get a job, it's not going to be immediate, I know, okay? I'm saying, like, give it a couple months after I've had a job and I actually have some financial stability, and I can actually be in a spot in my life where I can comfortably blow $200 to $300 at a bar in one night, just because I can, and because I have my date with me, you know what I'm saying? Kind of thing. But yeah, if you're going to a bar to take your girl out for a date, maybe she's not your girlfriend yet, but if you're going to a bar for a first date, nothing wrong with that, but it helps to have at least $100 on hand. If you're going to a bar that's not too terribly expensive, you know what I'm saying? It helps to have at least $100 on there, because there are some bars that will charge $12 for a drink. Yeah, that's bullshit. I mean, if you're drinking just beer and cheap drinks, and you and your girl get yourself something to eat, you know what I'm saying? You and your date, whatever you want to call it, that's cool too. But I've seen bars charge $12 for a drink, and I'm like, good God, $12 for a drink? I could buy a bottle for $12, dude. Granted, it wouldn't be nothing fancy. It'd probably be some gut rot vodka, but shit, dude. You buy a bottle for $10 of cheap-ass vodka, and you spend $2 on a 2-liter of Chase. You're golden, dude. You know, 9 times out of 10, what stops me from going to a bar? Money. And that usually when I get money to drink, I like drinking at home for the most part, because 1, I'm not a very social person, and 2, bars can get expensive after a minute. But now there's only like 2 bars I can go to on this side of town that aren't closed, because the freaking Sandbar closed, the Wonder Bar closed. So literally the only 2 bars I can go to on this side of town without calling a cab, I mean, they're a walking distance, but that's it, you know, they're not too terribly ridiculous, would be Frosty's and Jim and Karen's. Those are the only 2 bars I can go to on this side of town, really. And I mean, there are other bars I can go to if I have the money and I'm old. And I'm 25. I'm old enough to go to a bar. But excuse me, it's beside the point. Freaking yeah. And now I'm kind of wishing I hadn't destroyed that sex doll. You know. Because chances are that, hey, that was a really nice gesture, you know. Like freaking, I haven't had a real girlfriend in so fucking long that I forget what it feels like, you know what I'm saying? And then, yeah. Also, in the near future, I will be going to get myself checked, because once you've had sex a couple times, it's important to do these kinds of things. I'm 100% confident that I don't have anything, but it doesn't hurt to go and get checked anyways. You know what I'm saying, YouTube? It's good to periodically check yourself. And they have a bunch of clinics here in town that I can go and check myself. So, yeah. I don't know. Even with the job, I might have had more options available because when you get a job and actually make money for yourself, you know what I'm saying? You can. Oh, excuse me. You can open up all kinds of opportunities for yourself. Now, my family invited me to go with them on vacation for Thanksgiving, which, don't get me wrong, I appreciate the offer, but I don't have a job right now. And my dad's like, well, you don't need a job, I'll pay for everything. And it's not that I don't appreciate that, because I do. It's just that, like, I kind of need a job right now. That's more important than going on vacation right now, you know? So, I mean, I guess I'll just have to. I won't be completely alone on Thanksgiving, I guess. Assuming one of my friends that I hang out with regularly calls me up and says, hey, bro, you want to come, have some turkey with us or whatever, I'd be like, well, sure, why not, kind of thing. But here's the thing. I don't want to, I got to be here in town for Thanksgiving. Because what if someone calls me in for an interview and says, it's a possibility. I've been applying to jobs left and right lately, It's a possibility. What if someone says, hey, let's give this guy a call, And I don't want them to be like, someone calling me and be like, oh, could you come in for an interview at da-da-da-da? And me being on vacation, I'd be like, oh, geez, I really can't because I'm out of town right now, kind of thing. Fuck that. They'd probably reschedule it or be like, well, I guess we can't hire you right now. The circumstances are what they are. The doll, when it was made, was poorly made, and shipping and handling was ridiculously poor. And on top of that, I had all these troll comments telling me a bunch of shit, and it was just a really bad snowball effect, honestly. Knock on wood. I said the S word. Which is weird. In Wyoming, by now, we usually have a little bit of snow, which I'm not complaining in the slightest, YouTube. But it's November, and no snow on the ground. And normally in Wyoming, by this time of the year, we have snow on the ground. But we've only had like a little bit of frost, and that's it. I know in December we might get a little bit of snow, and I'm okay with that, even though I hate snow. Oh, I'm sorry, did I say that out loud? Yeah, fuck snow. Okay? I can deal with it in small doses, like if I have to get from point A to point B and I gotta walk my miserable, autistic, lonely ass across town to get something done, and it's snowing outside, so be it. I'll get to my destination one way or another. But generally speaking, I hate snow. I fucking hate it. It's just the absolute worst. There's no need for it. All it does is make everything cold and miserable. Now, the snow is a bit more bearable if you're bundled up, and enough to where it's tolerable, But Wyoming winters get nasty. And I mean, Wyoming winters get nasty, YouTuber. I mean fucking nasty. The coldest I've seen it get in Casper is -8 degrees. with a wind chill of snow just hitting you in the face. Ugh. But with the way the weather's been going lately, I can foresee us not having very much snow in December. I have a feeling it's going to be a very warm winter this time around. And all I gotta say to that is climate change. Climate change, global warming, and my weather magic. The combination of the three is what's causing Casper, Wyoming to have such awesome weather. Especially with the freaking... it's like almost the middle of November, you know? And not a lick of snow. Like, I'm trying to prolong the snow as long as humanly possible here. Using my powers to do it, and I look outside and there's no snow. And people want to sit there and say, that's just Josh and his Asperger's. I fucking hate when people would say shit like that. They have no idea. Oh, that's just Josh and his band. You know, they laugh it off as, oh, you have to know him kind of thing. Well, that's just Josh and his Asperger's, ha 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 ha. Yeah. Motherfuckers who make jokes like that don't even know that I'm going places one of these days, YouTube. I am going places with my life. And we'll see, YouTube, we will see. Motherfuckers that would laugh at me, oh, Josh and his Cobras, LOL, ha ha ha. Yeah, I'm the one that's still laughing about it because I'm the one with the cult following on YouTube. This fucking small-ass fucking town in North Dakota that I used to live in, people there would be like, oh, Josh and his Cobras, LOL, ha ha ha, ha ha, ha. I'm the one laughing at them for saying that because I'm the one with the cult following on YouTube. 4,717 subscribers and growing. Oh, damn. Like last time I checked my subscription count, 4,717. There's a good chance I might break 5,000 subscribers within a couple of months. Which, could you imagine, YouTube? I know at 4,000 subscribers I'd said that I was going to do the T-Rex Burger Challenge. But I didn't count on getting fired from the job I've had for 4 years and then being financially screwed for several months after that. Like, 4 years and a month after I had that job, and boom, I was terminated for the most bullshit reasons. And the job market in Casper right now, you can get a job, but it's very tough because the economy in Casper kind of sucks right now. A lot of businesses are closing. Oil field workers are getting laid off. And on top of that, fucking every other month, we're hearing stupid shit like, Wyoming takes another budget cut. Statewide budget cut. And I'm seeing my fellow Wyomingites struggle in the shitty Wyoming economy. And it pisses me off, YouTube. But I've learned a long time ago, YouTube, and I've learned this a long time ago. Getting pissed off at the issues you cannot change doesn't do you any good. Getting pissed off at circumstances that are out of your control. Yeah, if someone were to ask me if you could have anything you want for Christmas, just two things, what would it be? And my answer is world peace, and for marijuana and hemp and a bunch of other shit to be legal all across the globe. And by a bunch of other shit, I mean shrooms, peyote, salvia, DMT, acid, natural coke, fuck that crack shit. And, yeah, that organic spice that gets you high without all the chemicals and shit. Because natural spice that's made from plants and herbs that naturally get you high is where it's at. Fuck the synthetic shit. Yeah, I'd legalize all of that, and I'd also legalize hemp all across the world. And I would tell every country, I'd be like, okay, now that you're legal for these substances, tax it, regulate it, take that money you taxed off of those substances and pump it back into your country's economy. Most of what I listed off is made from plants to begin with, minus DMT. Yeah. Like cannabis, hemp, coke, okay, all the natural organic plant forms that are used to get you high and or make shit, okay. Salvia is a plant, that should be legal, which I believe it is to a degree. DMT should be legal because our bodies naturally produce it. Only 3 times during your life will you produce DMT. Once before you're born, once before you die, and the majority of your life when you sleep at night, when you're dreaming. You know when you dream at night and you're in a whole different world when you're dreaming. That is the cause of DMT firing off in your brain when you sleep at night. There's no getting that chunk of broken screen out of my computer. The screen behind it's just fine, so we're golden. I'm not gonna fuck with it anymore, I guess, until it... We have an Apple store here in town, though, so I don't know how much it would cost to replace the main screen. At the moment, I'm not worried about it. Just if I lose my temper, and here's the thing: if I lose my temper, and I want to punch something, punch my bed. Seriously. Like, there's no way I can physically break my bed. Although, to be fair, YouTube, sometimes I don't think before I act. And when I do, usually I end up fucking myself in some way. These last couple of days, now I have nothing to cuddle with at night. You know, that sex doll could, even though it was poorly made, it could have been something, YouTube, something to cuddle with at night. But no, now I'll never get that opportunity because of my dumbass mistakes. You know, this is kind of like learning to forgive myself for what I've done in high school to some of the women I used to have a crush on. I have to learn to forgive myself. Most of them by now have forgiven me because they realize, that's high school, you know, shit happens. I may dress and look the same as I did in high school, well, minus all this right here. But I'm a different person. I'm not the same person I was in high school. I'm much more angry and depressed. I'm much more angry and depressed, and I actually know my boundaries. Like, I'm not even joking with you, YouTube. There are some times here in town where if I see a cute girl walking down the street, I kind of want to check her out a little bit, you know. But there's times I don't, because I don't want her getting offended by me for checking her out, you know. As stupid as that sounds, there are times I will catch attractive women out of my peripheral vision, and I want to stop and check them out for a minute. But not really a minute. That's a figure of speech when I say a minute. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, there's times I'll see attractive women walking down the street, and I want to stop and check them out a little bit. But the reason I don't is because I don't want them looking at me and going, "Ew, who the fuck is this loser checking me out?" So for that reason alone, I don't do it. No, I pretty much, I hang out with my close circle of friends that I have. And when I hang out with the close circle of friends that I have, apart from that, I keep to myself. Now, if I was more of a social person, chances are I wouldn't have a hard time getting a girlfriend, but, you know, I get so sick and tired of people saying I blame everything on my Asperger's, and I don't, okay? When I say things like, me having Asperger's makes it hard for me to get a girlfriend, I'm not blaming my social luck with women on my Asperger's. I'm bringing my disorder to awareness. Damn it. Because it's a well-known fact that if you have Asperger's syndrome, that you're going to struggle with social cues. And I cannot tell you how bad that was when I was younger. Like, when I was younger, it was way bad. Holy shit. When I was younger, I didn't think... When I was younger, no one told me to just, "You have Asperger's, you fucking retarded freak, keep to yourself." Correction, socially retarded freak. There we go, that's more appropriate. I'm sure people get tired of me dogging on myself all the time. I don't care, YouTube. I don't care, okay? I will dog on myself all goddamn day. And the reason why I do it is because, one, I have a low self-esteem, and two, it just shows these fucking trolls that they can talk all the shit they want about me. It doesn't affect me, because I talk shit about myself to myself all the goddamn time. Yeah, I may be kind of gifted with music, but the trade-off, YouTube, is that I'm socially awkward. Oh, damn it, dude. I can see the bottom of my cherry pipe tobacco. I mean, I have a little bit of pipe tobacco in this other bag left, but I'm definitely running low. I mean, pipe tobacco is nice when you ain't got a fucking job and you out of fucking cigarettes all the goddamn time. I mean, I've had fans send me tobacco before, and it was always greatly appreciated. Whenever fans would send me tobacco, I'd always do a review of the tobacco they sent me on my YouTube channel, you know, that kind of thing. I'm done destroying things my fans send me. Because at some point, I had to realize that, okay, at some point it would click in my head that maybe, just maybe, you know, like, Because now when I'm sitting here miserable because I'm alone, and because I'll never find anybody, when I'm sitting here pissed off at the world and miserable because I'll never find a girlfriend that I truly connect with, and I'll be alone the rest of my life. You know, sitting here saying, well, you had a sex doll your fans sent you to try to soften that blow just a little bit. But no, you had to fucking destroy it because you got pissed off that it was poorly made and the way it was shipped. And then you got fucking convinced by trolls and shit. Even though I'm confident I'll be alone the rest of my life, I'm still young enough to where, you know, give it some time, see what happens. Just know that if I happen to have $3,000 just laying around, saved up somewhere, and that if I haven't had a girlfriend in a couple of years, that it's an option at least. I'll tell you right now, YouTube, the older you get, okay, the older you get, the harder it becomes to find a girlfriend. That's just the truth of it. And to tell you the truth, YouTube, relationships aren't all they're cracked up to be. Like, from an outsider's perspective, you know, it is kind of cool to think about, you know, to actually have a girl to cuddle up with and talk to every day, you know what I'm saying? All that good shit, you know. But then you gotta deal with a whole bunch of other shit. When you're in a relationship with a female or a male, it doesn't matter which one, you have to deal with her friends and your friends. You might have to deal with her friends trying to convince her, oh, he's not good enough for you, kind of thing. You might also have to deal with your friends saying, oh, dude, come on, she's such a bitch, you could do so better, blah, 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 blah. And they don't even know, they're just pissed off that, they could just be pissed off that you're spending less time with them. So if you actually have a social life, and you actually have a couple friends, you know what I'm saying, kind of thing, when you have a girlfriend, you have to learn to be able to make time for both your friends and for your girlfriend. Otherwise, you're going to get the whole, you never spend any time with me argument, and it's just, as far as the whole Bailey incident goes, when she was getting harassed by telemarketers, she changed her number. And in doing so, she lost my homeboy Scotty's number. And probably didn't bother to look it up again because every time she made plans to hang out with me, nothing happened. Plans changed, kind of thing. And whenever I would express my frustrations with it, people would make their accusations about my homeboy Scotty, and it pissed me off. It's like, y'all are going to make me feel bad because, you know, I missed out on potentially a good date, you know. Because when Scotty was telling me this is what Scotty was telling me, was that Bailey has Asperger's, she plays the guitar, she has a pet snake, and she listens to Cradle of Filth. I'm like, hey, come on. It does not. Like, you could not physically, like, holy shit, you could not physically have planned that more perfectly. But the thing of it is, YouTube, that just because we have a lot in common doesn't mean we'll click well together, you know. And that is the unfortunate reality of dating, YouTube. is that you could have a lot in common with somebody, but that's not going to be enough, you know? That's not going to be enough. The thing, if it is YouTube, is, like I said, you can have a lot in common with somebody, but if you don't feel that spark, you know what I'm saying, it ain't going to happen, you know? Kind of thing. And attraction, it works on two levels. The first level is physical. It is the one thing that makes humans check each other out, is that physical attraction to whatever sex you're attracted to, you know. And, yeah. Speaking of pipe tobacco, oh, looky here. And on top of that, Bailey smokes a pipe. I'm not even shitting you. When Sky told me this, I'm like, oh, you gotta be fucking kidding me. So right off the bat, and we already have a lot in common, and so, yeah, I was eager to meet her. But the final straw, YouTube, was when, right around last Christmas, my homeboy Scotty said, hey, Bailey's having a quote-unquote New Year's Eve party and you're invited. Oh, sweet. When's it going to be? He mentions the day. Like, alright. Had I known, YouTube, had I known that I was going to be back in time for her party, I had no idea, you know. Like, I'd went out of state to visit family for the holidays, and I came back into state and was staying with family for a little bit before returning to Casper, and I had no idea if I was going to be back in time for Bailey's party or not. And it turns out, you know, excuse me, I farted, but I literally called my homeboy up and I said, bro, look, I don't know if I'm going to make it in time for Bailey's party or not, so, yeah. That's when he called Bailey and told her this, and she ended up canceling the party because I wasn't going to be in town. And then I get back to town just in time for the party, and I had no idea. When I tried calling my homeboy Scotty up, I'm like, bro, when's Bailey's party? I'm back in town. He's like, she canceled it, man. I'm like, what? She goes, yeah, she didn't think you were going to be in town. I'm like, fuck. But here's the thing, YouTube. Bailey does not do social media, so I can't just contact you on Facebook and be like, what up, though? And so because of that, you know, being as I'm somebody who's kind of big into social media, and somebody who's also kind of a big deal on social media, like, to sit there and say that I'm not famous on YouTube would be a fucking lie. Now, I'm not, like, ridiculously famous on the internet, mind you. My internet fame is not, like, super mega ridiculous, but it's definitely there. There's definitely enough people who watch my shit on YouTube to where, you know, I'm kind of a big deal on the internet. I'm not, like, the coolest thing on YouTube, mind you. But I'm starting to get recognition for what I do on YouTube. Okay, I gotta mount this camera better because this fucking thing, my desk would move, and then when it moves, the camera moves with it. There we go. Damn it. Well, anyway, I just got done watching the new episode of South Park, and as usual, it was pretty funny. They made Mr. Garrison look like Donald Trump, kind of. uh, and here's the thing, YouTube. Checking somebody out, and if it's unwanted, in these modern times, if taken out of context, YouTube, in these modern times, checking somebody out can be considered sexual harassment. I am not bullshitting you. This one job I was working at said, quote unquote, they have to update their sexual harassment policy every fucking year because even grown-ups act like children sometimes. Oh, did I say that out loud? I'm sorry. No, I'm not. And, well, the new pamphlet I received about the updated sexual harassment policy at one of my old jobs basically said that you can't check somebody out. Elevator eyes, as they called it. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you give somebody elevator eyes, that can be considered sexual harassment. So, if you're in a work setting, it's best not to check out your coworkers. That's just, no. Here's the thing, though. The only time that can work is if you're a guy in a work environment, the only time that works is if she's checking you out too. That is the only time that works. Okay? It doesn't work the other way. And you can sit there and bitch unfairness all you want to, but, well, when one sex gets treated unfairly for a number of years, our society tends to favor them more, even though it's complete bullshit that, you know what I'm saying? Case in point, domestic abuse. I'm against it, you know. I don't think either sex should have to put up with domestic abuse, period. However, the fact of the matter is that domestic abuse against women is more punishable by the law than domestic abuse for men. And that's why a lot of men will not come forward when they're being physically abused by their woman. And it's disgusting, you know. Now, either way you shape it, it's not right. You know, women should not have to be in fear of their life. And men should not be afraid to come forward if they're being abused. And this is what I've wondered. What if a man who beats women hooks up with a woman who beats men? Think about that for a second. Think about that for a second. If a man hooks up with a woman who likes to beat males because she thinks, oh, he's a male, and society says you're not supposed to hit women, so he won't hit me back, blah, blah, blah kind of thing. And she hooks up with this guy and just starts beating on him, and then he starts beating on her back because he's the same exact way. Oh, God, dude. I can't even imagine. Either they hate each other, or it goes from punching each other to fucking each other. I don't know how that works. I really don't. So yeah, there's times where I hate the fact that I can't get a girlfriend very easily. But then there's times I greatly appreciate it, because then I'll see all my friends who have somebody, okay? Friends of mine who have a significant other, and when my friends are fighting with their significant other about something completely stupid and pointless, I say to myself, oh, times like that, when I am physically watching my friends fight with their significant other verbally over some stupid shit, it makes me go, man, am I glad am I single. Holy shit. Because here's the thing, YouTube. You know, if you meet somebody where you hardly fight with them at all, it's great. You know, if you meet somebody in your life where you hardly fight with them, the relationship, as far as boyfriend girlfriend goes, is relatively smooth, then hey, you know. But one thing I talked about in my cooking video in regards to the sex doll is I shouldn't focus on that sex doll until I actually have a fucking job. Or until, you know, that, and if I haven't had a girlfriend in like a couple years down the road, kind of thing. As far as, you know, the third thing I mentioned was paying Vapor back, but he said I don't have to, so he said don't even worry about it. But I'm not going to worry about it now, okay? But for the record, if I have the ability, if I have the chance to do it and be financially stable and not worry about it, kind of thing, then I'm going to do it. Okay, I know Vapor said I don't have to, but I'm going to do it, you know? Because I feel bad that I destroyed the sex doll, and I feel bad that Vapor bought one that was poorly assembled and poorly handled in shipping, you know, kind of thing. Yeah. I don't know, YouTube, because it was poorly assembled and poorly shipped, you know, I guarantee you that the snowball effect of those shitty circumstances wouldn't have happened the way it happened if the doll would have been better made and shipped to me more professionally and not been roughly handled during shipping and shit. And if they would have been spouting off with the shit they were saying about Discord, my Discord fans and shit, I would have been like, yeah, right. But when they were saying the things they said, combined with, you know, the other things like I mentioned earlier, freaking, I was believing it, you know, and fuck, all these regrets in my life, and the only thing I can do is learn from my mistakes, and actually think before I act. Okay, think before I fucking act. And the only reason I say 3,000 is because all these customizable options they have and everything. And on top of that, you know, learning from what I've learned the last time, if I'm in the market for a sex doll, I actually have the money and I haven't had any companionship in a long enough time, and I actually have the money for it, then yeah, I would consider getting one, most definitely, because I've already had one, and they're kind of fun, I'm not going to lie, you know. I mean, yeah, they're kind of heavy and they're a pain in the ass to position, unless you get the right options, you know what I'm saying, like, from what I've read and stuff, and all this fucking nonsense. But, you know, I'm young enough, I'm still in my prime, so don't completely weigh out the sex doll option just yet, but, you know, I basically say what I need to say in that cooking video, like, you know, well, if my fans can forgive me, and my friends can forgive me, then I need to forgive myself. And I fuck up a lot, just like the rest of us. And when I fuck up, the only thing I can do is learn from my mistakes and own up to my mistakes. I'm in the process of uploading my edited video, and it's being uploaded on private, so I can add the second half of that video in editing, and then just make it all one project, basically. But when I get a job, I have other things I'd like to save up for. I have priorities. You know? The simple fact of the matter is, YouTube, if there are women out there that find me attractive, then I wouldn't consider the sex doll option just yet. But if I'm like 26, 27 years old and I haven't had a girlfriend yet, and I have $3,000 that I can blow on a $2,000, like $800-900 doll, what have you, then yeah, I might consider it. Oh, good God, it's been an hour-long video. Why? Okay, let's go to Creator Studio. She. God damn it. Well, the burger video is going to take some time to upload because there's two separate videos and one of them is like super long. But, yeah. And kind of looking back on the video, I wish I would have done the Hot Pocket bit a little bit differently. Because I could have put the Hot Pockets side by side underneath the burger patty, I'm willing to bet you. But I didn't think that through. I was trying to fit two different kinds of Hot Pocket onto a burger, so yeah. One thing I can't stand, YouTube, is when people feel the need to show off their girlfriend to the world. Like, overly dramatic PDA kind of thing. It's like, we get it, you have a girlfriend, good for you, now quit rubbing it in everyone's face, you fucking cockstain. Straight up. Now some people might say, well, you don't understand because you've never had a girlfriend that you'd be proud to show off. You know what? If you're gonna say shit like that, fuck you. Straight up. It's an option to consider if I haven't had an actual real girl in so many years, you know. I mean, right now there's opportunity, but if it's been like 2-3 years since I've had a real girlfriend, the chances are it's not gonna happen. That's why they made sex dolls in the first place, YouTube, for socially awkward fucks like me who can't muster up enough courage to talk to a girl, which is funny when you think about it, because, you know, I'll post I will post some of my most personal shit for a YouTube video for the entire fucking internet to see, and I have a hard time talking to women. That's, you know what I'm saying, like, just saying it out loud, it sounds stupid, but it's the fucking reality of it. If I look at talking to women like I do when I make a YouTube video, just relax, be yourself, you know, kind of thing, I probably have a lot easier time talking to women, but, man, it kind of sucks living in a small town where everyone's taken, and the ones that aren't even interested. You know, it's just one of those things, YouTube. If I could afford to live in Colorado, I would consider it. But then again, I probably wouldn't, because I'm too much of a homebody. Especially with the Asperger's. Once I'm used to my routine, it's pretty hard for me to break my routine, kind of thing. I don't know how I do it. I got overly animated in my discussion, and I knocked my phone off the charger. I didn't break my charger, I didn't break my phone, but that's beside the point. Like, come on, really? Ugh. So I got a brand new burger video on the way, and other topics in this video are discussed, but holy shit, this video is way too fucking long. But a lot of my fans love my hour-long videos, because a lot of my fans, some of them have jobs at home, and a lot of my fans, what they like to do is if they're doing something like schoolwork or a job, they'll turn my videos on in the background and just listen to my voice. They will literally just listen to my voice while they work, and they say it's, for some odd reason, they say it's a stress reliever and it helps them concentrate on their work and shit. I've heard it from people firsthand, so yeah. I guess if my hour-long videos serve a purpose, then awesome. Also, some of the old Discord gang that I used to hang out with before it all went to shit. Let's just say one of the Discord members that I used to hang around with went on a major power trip, and that Discord group got torn up. But my homeboy Scotty made a new Discord group that I'm now a part of, and some of the old gang from the old Discord is on there, and a lot of the people that were on there are no longer on there anymore just because of all the shit that went down. Yeah. In fact, the last girl I had sex with, YouTube, when I was eating her pussy out, I could tell she was really getting into it. I've had sex with enough girls to recognize body language when a girl's physically getting off. In fact, the last girl I had sex with, she's like, "You're really good at this." That being said, that's another reason why I already know which sex doll I'd pick out if I had the money and if it was an option available. And by option, I mean, like I said, if I hadn't had a girlfriend in a couple of years and, kind of thing. Yeah. Right now, I've been struggling real bad these last couple of months, but YouTube, things are bound to get better eventually. They have to, you know. Well, anyways, this is KingCobraJFS with another video. Thank you for watching. And, yeah, I'll catch you all, later.